So Republicans are now saying out loud that they will not help Joe Biden with the border because if they did, that might improve his approval ratings. Troy Nell said this. He said, "Let me tell you, I'm not willing to do too damn much right now to help a Democrat and to help Joe Biden's approval rating. I will not help Democrats try to improve this man's dismal approval ratings. I'm just not going to do it. Why would I?" Well, here's why I would. Republicans go around talking about the border as one of their biggest boogeymen in their closet. And they tell us that the border is what's responsible for crime. They tell us that the border is what's responsible for drug overdoses. They link every problem we have in this country to the border somehow. It's a crisis that we must address right this very moment. It's the number one thing we have to address, according to Republicans, but we can't fix it right now because we might help Joe Biden to look good, and we can't have that. So, do they not care about crime? Do they not care about drug overdoses? Or could this just be another political stunt that they pull and another talking point that they latch onto? See, what's happening is in their bag of boogeymen, they have the border, and they have Epstein's list, and they have Hunter Biden's laptop. And those are the things we've heard them parrot for so long. Well, Hunter Biden's laptop is fizzling out. They're learning that there's really nothing coming from that. And at the end of the day, Hunter Biden and whatever he's done in this world in no way affects working people and how they put food on the table. Whatever Hunter Biden has done in his lifetime has no effect on crime. Whatever Hunter Biden has done has no effect on drug overdoses. Whatever he done was personally involved him, and that's pretty much it. So when you go to vote and you're worried about Hunter Biden, if that's why you go vote is because you're worried about Hunter Biden, then you really don't have any problems. Because if you actually had problems, you would stop and go, yeah, that's the least of my worries. And they sure as hell don't want to talk about Epstein's list now because Trump's name appears to be in there. And because we can find all kinds of videos of him dancing and laughing and pointing at women with Epstein, they don't want to talk about that. So let's just keep talking about the border. But hey, let's help out with the border. Let's fix it. No, because if we fix it, then Joe Biden might look good. Mike Johnson goes down to the border and he talks with CNN, and they point out to him, hey, what about the $14 billion that Biden is trying to get pushed through here to help with the border? He says, oh, that won't fix it. That won't help nothing. We can't do that. That won't help anything. And he actually accused Biden of coming last year for a photo op. But yet he goes down there and continues to spread his fear, continues to spread his propaganda. And when it comes right down to it, let's fix this. Let's work together. They don't have the common decency to reach across the aisle and put Democrat and Republican off the table for a minute and help fix the problem. Let me ask you a question. Is crime, is that Democrat or Republican? Is drug overdoses, is that Democrat or Republican? Is terrorism, is that Democrat or Republican? That can be carried out in the hands of anybody. That's not political. What's political is they don't want to help Joe Biden look good. They don't want to give him a victory. They want to make him look as bad as they possibly can. And then when Trump gets in, they'll stop talking about it because they are always pushing the illusion of winning. They're not going to do anything any different. If Trump was reelected, they'll just tell you the border's cured, and his followers would say, yep, it's cured, and the wall's built, and everything's done, and we can all go back to bed because that's the alternate reality that these people live in. I never thought I'd see the day where I always knew politicians was bullshitting me, but I never thought I'd see the day where they would just go ahead and tell us the real reason. I used to say things like that. I'm like, yeah, they're not wanting to help Obama to look good here. They're not wanting to help Clinton to look good here, or whatever. I've always said that. Yeah, I can see that. But now they just say it. No, we ain't going to do it. We don't want him to look good. So it must not be that big of a deal. Because I can tell you something. If it was as big and as drastic as Republicans claim it is, they would take politics off the table and they would worry about you and your family. But instead, they're just trying to feed fear to you and your family and keep you scared to death. And they've been doing this for years. This has always been the Republican shtick. This isn't new. This has always been their thing. Years ago, it was Muslims. After 9/11, it's the Muslims coming into the country. Now, it's the border. And when they move past this, they'll come up with something else to keep you living in fear and keep you voting against your own interests. And people in my part of the world will sit here and they'll fly a Trump flag off a house that I could walk up and hit with a shoulder block and knock it to the ground and don't realize, hey, these people are playing you. When is the last time that these Republicans any of them, has lived the life you've lived? When have they paid a mortgage like you? When have they drove back and forth to work for $14 an hour? When have they drove around in a used car? When have they struggled to pay their bills? When has prices of something going up or down changed their life at all? They still ate. Their life still went on. Meanwhile, they kept you living in fear, voting against your own interests, and every time somebody tried to help you, they blocked it. And I've been saying this entire time, they're doing this because they don't want Joe Biden to look good. And everybody's like, oh, no, Brando, that ain't it. That's not it at all. But now they're saying it out loud. They don't want Joe Biden to look good. So that's your party. I mean, for all you that hates Joe Biden, and you know what? You're free to hate on Joe Biden all you want to, and you're free to disagree with him all you want to. But the problem is, the party, the alternative that you have, they're doing nothing. And they're telling you out loud they're doing nothing. They have no ideas, and they're not doing a damn thing, and that's what you're stuck with. So sit back and, I guess, just, throw shade at Biden all day. Blame him for all of your problems. But the team you're on is sitting there not doing anything to fix it because, heaven forbid, he looks good for 1 minute. So, yeah, they're playing y'all really bad. And for those of us that actually wants to see progress made, we just sit over here and watch and wait for y'all to wake up. And then the more I watch, the more I realize, no, they're out cold, man. They're not waking up no time soon. So I don't know. All I can say to people with the voice of reason inside of you and with 1 ounce of logic, go vote.